Hello, everyone. Welcome to Self Love You. What do you know? What do you know? Isn't that crazy that I'm actually doing a video? I think it's pretty crazy because it's been a long time since I have done a video. It's been about a year. And I tell you what, the reason for my absence is simply because I have been working on my own process, my own healing, and I have come so far in 2019. I have done just a tremendous amount of healing. I have received a lot of gold from my life that I'm living. Even in making mistakes, I've received a lot of information. I've received a lot of pieces of myself that I didn't even know existed, that I needed to move forward. Meanwhile, just recently, I was in a relationship, and I worked really hard all year. I've worked really hard for years. You guys know that I'm really into personal development, and I'm, a child abuse survivor, and I've really come through a lot and really overcome a lot. Well, so here I am going about my merry way. Before I had really just kind of kept away from relationships because I was working on myself or whatever, and was really keeping myself at bay. But then I decided to kind of let myself get out there, and armed with all the information that I know about narcissism and about communication and about healthy relationships. So my happy self went out there, and I met someone. Someone had friended me on Facebook who lived locally, and was, a character, and very, very handsome and all of these things. And we hit it off. We had a great whirlwind romance. And there were some, and then needless to say, it cycled, and I started putting up more boundaries. And as I put up more boundaries, lo and behold, the person that I was with, me, the person who talks about narcissism and self-love all the time, the person who's very well educated in this whole extreme personality disorder, I found that I was with a complete and utter fraud. I was with someone who was actually a narcissist at the end of the day. Yes. And so this person went from being sweet, kind, and communicative in the way that is very healthy, mirroring my communication style, to someone who was shallow, cold, petty, and dishonest, disloyal. It was a narcissist in the flesh. So one of the things, whenever I started finding out about narcissism, that I really focused on, was how a narcissist, how to, in the dating scene, how to weed out the narcissist. Okay, your typical signs of a narcissist is someone who is self-involved, unless you're dealing with the covert narcissist, but someone who's self-involved, someone who doesn't really know how to communicate very well, someone who, does a conversation shift in the conversation, turns the conversation on them, someone who is, you can just tell who a narcissist is. What I found out through this latest relationship, it's been years since I let someone in, and a couple years, and I found out through this latest relationship was that some narcissists actually have communication skills. They're keen. They know how to get the supply that feeds them. And so they are able to pull tricks, and they are able to pretend to be someone who is empathetic, someone who cares, someone who knows how to have a relationship, someone who knows how to be loyal, someone who knows how to toss the ball back and forth, someone who knows how to be. So just because someone is communicating well with you, just because someone seems loyal, just because all of the things seem right in the communication, that does not mean that you're dealing with an empath or a normal person. I can cite many things looking back on the relationship that just ended last week. I can cite many things that, I was literally bamboozled. And you know what? It takes a lot of guts for me to sit here and say, okay, here I am, Miss Jenna Ryan, an expert on narcissism, to say the least, who teaches others about narcissistic abuse, who knows how to get out of abuse. Here I am being fooled. Well, that's the way it is. I'm sorry. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Anybody who sits in these videos and tries to act like they're perfect and you're the little one and you are the one that needs help, I feel sorry for that person because nobody has all of this down. There are deceivers out there, and there's nothing you can do. If there's someone is deceptive, all you can do is hide in a closet because there's going to be deceivers. So I'm looking back on this particular relationship and I'm saying, I mean, it's just crazy that I fell for this, that I fell for someone who was not what I thought they were. That was everything, in fact, that I cannot stand. And the mask was so tight, as some of you put it on YouTube. His mask was on so tight that he was able to emulate my higher level communication style. Because what do? I research how to communicate. I research how to have strong and healthy relationships. I research all of these things, but he was so good at mirroring and getting the supply that he needed from my type of person for whatever reason that he needed my type of supply for that moment in his life. He was profound at mirroring my communication style. And maybe he even literally has that communication style. I mean, I can't butter me and call me a biscuit. I cannot believe that this person who had such awesome insight, communication, who seems so humble, who seems so down to earth, who seems so real, who, oh my God. And he turned out to be a narcissist just as bad as one who was flamboyant and using word salad. Like he was articulate in his words. Now, I'm not saying that he's perfect. He did have some issues that I probably overlooked, but that's not the point. The point is that I fell for someone who was completely opposite at the end of the day as how he was acting in the beginning. So as he come to find out, he had another couple girls on the side, even though he was moving into my place. After a couple months, we were just talking every day. We were on the phone constantly. We were very connected. We were talking about introducing one another to our families. He had a drawer at my house. He had a closet at my house. All his stuff was here. We spent gobs of time together. And then come to find out, he was running another woman, at least maybe two, maybe three, maybe, we don't know now how many. He was running at the same time. So he required a great deal of narcissistic supply in order to keep him satisfied, because I was like pouring all the attention on him. But looking back, it did start to slip. I did start to notice some things. And the important thing to know about me today is, yes, I was fooled. I will admit it. I was fooled again by a narcissist. However, this time, the difference is my ability to go no contact. I'm able to cut off this person. The moment that I found out who he really was, the moment that he let me know that he is not who I thought he was, I'm able to let go. Is it painful? It's just a little. It's rough to be deceived. It's rough to be used and deceived by anyone. So yeah, that's painful, but I'm not in pain because of that evil monster that he is. I'm simply in pain because evil exists. So I do grieve for the lost guy that I thought he was. And I think that that's very sad that people have to be that way. It's just tremendously disappointing. But I'm able to pick myself back up, brush myself off, and move on. Yay! Fast and quick. And I don't have to dwell on it for years. I don't have to be depressed forever. I just watched a bunch of videos on YouTube of all these people talking about narcissist abuse. And I was like, oh my God, that happened to me. Oh my God, that happened to me. Oh my God, that just happened to me too. I can't believe it happened to me. I know all this stuff. I've seen all these videos before. And here it happened to me again. So if you are someone who is prone to being targeted by a narcissist, it is because there is something inside of you that is allowing it in. So there's some sort of need for validation, or something that I needed from this particular narcissist that caused me to allow him into my life and not see that he was love bombing, because that is for sure what happened. I was love bombed. I will admit it. It got past me. Do I know what love bombing is? Yes. Do I always let someone who love bombs me get in the door? Never. This happened to be someone who had just the qualities that that caused me to cave, that caused me to let go of everything I know and allow love bombing. Because I thought, okay, well, whenever couples get together, there's love bombing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just really likes me. Maybe that's why he's calling me on the way home from our first date. Maybe that's why he's texting me right after we just got off the phone for the first time. So I thought maybe he's just really into me. I'm fabulous. What do you know? But come to find out, that was just because he was looking back on the whole relationship. I see that he was on the back end of something else. He was running. So now, today, he's left. He's gone. I have, cut that off. And he's with someone else, love bombing them. And it's really sad. And I have a lot of sorrow in my heart for the girl that is going to have to go through the things that he's going to do. And also the other girl that called me and all this drama that occurred. And I'm like, oh my God, she was crying to me. I was like, go watch my videos on YouTube. Maybe it'll help you. So anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I am going to pick myself back up and keep going. Am I going to regret the relationship? No, because at the end of the day, there were some things that occurred in the relationship, some things I was able to work out within myself that caused me to become a better person and to be stronger in the future. So I don't regret it. It just happened. It can happen to anyone. I don't care how well you know about narcissism. The key is each time you are violated or deceived like this, to get stronger. And my win for the day is that I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck on this person. I'm like, okay, I see who you are. Bye. I'm not going to text him and say, oh, well, look what you did to me. Because I know they don't care. I know with everything in me that someone who's a narcissist is a liar, a deceiver, evil, reprobate, completely given over, and there is no hope for them to understand what I'm saying. So I can just move on with my life and go, what is going on? So you guys leave comments, share. Good to see you. I'm going to do a couple more videos because I'm like, right now. Talk to you soon.